Hello learners. In this lecture, we will study about the real GDP as well as the nominal GDP. Basically, lecture 5 है of the basic concepts of the macroeconomics. So, those who have not seen the previous lectures, kindly see the previous lectures, then only you will be able to correlate with the present lecture. So, let us start with this particular lecture. In this, I will explain you what is real as well as nominal GDP. फर्स्ट एंड फॉरमोस्ट अगर अपन रियल जीडीपी की नाम जाते हुए नॉमिनल जीडीपी की बात करें, नॉमिनल जीडीपी, see GDP word you are knowing, that is gross domestic product, as you are already knowing that GDP means gross domestic product. Now when you are calculating GDP on the basis of current year price, means if your calculation of GDP was based on current market price, तो जो जीडीपी आपके पास आएगा, जो जीडीपी कैलकुलेट होगा, उसे हम बोलेंगे नॉमिनल जीडीपी. Simply, you can see the definition also. Monetary value of all goods and services produced in an economy during a financial year. आई बात समझ में learners, that if you are calculating the GDP on the basis of current market price, then sir GDP is known as your nominal GDP. After nominal GDP, let us understand the real GDP. Real GDP is that GDP if you are calculating it on the basis of what? If you are calculating it on the basis of current year prices, not you are calculating it on the basis of बेस ईयर प्राइस. नाउ अगर आपको ध्यान हो तो 11th में आपने इंडेक्स नंबर पढ़ा होगा. In index number, you have heard about current year as well as the base year, or the present year as well as the base year. Similarly, यहीं पे आपको सिर्फ ये दो डिफरेंस याद करने हैं. That अगर GDP आप current year price से निकाल रहे हो तो वो nominal GDP हो जाता है, और वहीं अगर आप base year price को base बना के निकाल रहे हो, so that GDP is known as the real GDP. I will more explain you with the help of an example. Now, see this table in front of you. Here you can see there is wheat, cloth, and sugar. The units produced, it is the quantity 500, 300, and then it is 200. Then is the price of current year. जो अभी का price है, suppose 20 rupees per unit, then 10, and then 5. Now to calculate nominal GDP, I will multiply the units with the current year price. I already told you nominal GDP हम कैसे निकालते हैं, current year price से. So multiplying it 500 into 20, I get 10,000. 300 into 10, I get 3,000. 200 into 5, I get 1,000. Overall total 10,000 plus 3,000 plus 1,000 gives me a total of 14,000. Okay, then coming to the base year prices, 10, 5, and 2. Now multiplying these base year prices with the units again, then I will get my real GDP. 10 into 500, I got 5,000. Then 300 into 5, I got 1,500. And at last 200 into 2, I got 400. Ultimately, इनका total किया जाए, so it will be 6,900. So you can understand here when you are going for nominal GDP, आपने क्या preference किया, current year price को base माना, or when you are going for real GDP, you have taken base year price as your main purpose while calculating the GDP. Are you getting with the example that nominal GDP in concluding statement, current price market price को focus करता है, and the real GDP is focusing on the base year price. Now let us see in the next slide how they are differentiated between each other. Now, difference between the nominal GDP and real GDP. First, GDP at constant price or the base year price, as you can see, it is calculation has been done on the basis of base year price. And in case of particularly GDP at current price, so GDP at current price means the calculation is being done at the current market price. Okay, when the GDP calculation has been taken with the current market prices, then this would be known as your GDP at current price. When it is being taken as base year price, that will be known as GDP at constant price, or another names as we have discussed, that is known as real GDP as well as nominal GDP. As I already told you, real GDP is that GDP जो हम बेस ईयर प्राइस पे निकालते हैं, नॉमिनल जीडीपी वो जीडीपी है जो हम करंट मार्केट प्राइस पे निकालते हैं. आफ्टर दैट comes is the GDP changes only due to the change in output. See, real GDP तभी change होगा जब actually में output increase हुआ. Take for the example now. Here, suppose good A is there. In 2010, I have produced 500 units of good A. In 2020, I have produced 1000 units of good A. Now I'm taking the price as base year price of 2010. Suppose base year price is 10. Here also I will multiply it with 10 also. In both the cases, whatever GDP I'm getting, that is a real GDP because I have considered the base year price. Here 500 into 10 will give me what? 5000, and there 1000 into 10 will give me 10,000. So overall you can see if the GDP is increasing, अगर आपका GDP increase हो रहा है तो उसका reason सिर्फ और सिर्फ तभी है अगर आपका output increase हो रहा है. That is, if your output is increasing, then only your GDP will increase. Your price is constant. That's why it is known as also GDP at constant prices. That's why real GDP is the best measure to calculate the overall growth. हम overall growth अगर इकोनॉमी की देखते हैं, चाहे वो इंडियन इकोनॉमी की हो, चाहे वो अदर कंट्री की इकोनॉमी की हो, we will always focus on the real GDP of the economy. Is real GDP increasing means the goods and services has been increased. But if you are going for nominal GDP, वहाँ पे दोनों level से changes आ सकते हैं. As you can see, it changes due to both price as well as output of the economy. आपका output बदला तब भी change आएगा, या फिर price अगर inflation के कारण increase हुए तब भी changes आएंगे. That is the basic concept. So real GDP does not changes with the change in price. It only changes with the goods changes, and nominal GDP changes by both, that is the price as well as the goods. Now here comes one more term, that is GDP deflator as well as the price index. Now what is deflator? It is defined as the ratio between nominal GDP as well as the real GDP. अगर आप nominal GDP और real GDP को ratio करोगे, so whatever you will get, that will be known as a GDP deflator. Measure the average level of price of all the goods and services. Let us understand with the simple example. GDP deflator in this case will be, formula of GDP deflator will be nominal GDP divided by real GDP into 100. Are you able to get? The formula of your GDP deflator will be nominal divided by real into 100. It gives you normally the price index. What is the change in overall price? Example, let us see. Again, we have wheat 500, 300, 200, that are units. That is the price. We have already done 20, 10, and 5. Now, nominal GDP, in last example, I told you how to calculate. Similarly, base and the real GDP on the basis of base year price. Now, if I want to calculate the GDP deflator, simply I will divide the nominal GDP divided by real GDP. 14,000 divided by 7,000. So here 14,000 divided by 7,000 into 100. That gives me a GDP of how much? Here 2020 cancel, 1010 cancel here, and the final answer is 200. Means basically the rates have increased by how much percent? 200. You can see base year price is 10 and here real the current year price is 20. Means there is an increase of how much percent? Just double. And secondly, 5 has now gone to 10. Again, there is just increase by double. 2.5 has now increased to 5. So basically, the GDP deflator is telling that by how much the prices has increased. That is the major issue. Okay. Now moving further, calculation, as I've told you, that will be 14,000 divided by 7,000, and the final answer in this case would be 200%. Okay, students, now let us move further in the upcoming slide. Now, as I told you that GDP deflator is a price index. Now, again, a price index की बात निकली है तो consumer price index can also be studied. So, consumer price index is what? It is calculated by dividing the price of basket of goods and services in a given year by the price of the same basket in the base year multiplied by 100. अब ये basket क्या होगा? You will be able to understand with the consumer. Cost of market basket of current year. See, whatever consumer is buying, in that is known as the market basket. Now, whatever cost he is bearing as a consumer with the current price, and whatever cost he would have beared if there was base year price. Are you getting? Consumer price index simple formula. Agar cost of market basket of current year similarly divided by the base year prices of the same basket multiplied by 100, you will get consumer price index. Now, what is the difference between consumer price index and GDP deflator? Normally formula लगभग same है, लेकिन there is a difference. First, if you can see, the consumer price index, the goods purchased by consumer do not represent all goods which are produced in country. सीपीआई आपको ये नहीं बताएगा कि और गुड्स पे कितना प्राइसेस चेंज है, बिकॉज सीपीआई इज ओनली फोकसिंग ऑन कंज्यूमर, बट अपार्ट फ्रॉम कंज्यूमर देयर आर अदर गुड्स एंड सर्विसेज व्हिच आल्सो बीन प्रोड्यूस्ड व्हिच आर नॉट यूज्ड बाय कंज्यूमर, दे कैन बी यूज्ड बाय द प्रोड्यूसर आल्सो. So GDP deflator takes into all accounts of such goods and services. That's why GDP deflator is very much different from consumer price index. Moving further, CPI includes price of goods consumed by the representative consumer. मतलब only those goods which are being produced or which are being consumed by the consumer. Hence, it includes the price of imported goods. जैसे अगर आज मैंने कोई चीज बाहर से इंपोर्ट कराई तो वो सीपीआई में आएगी. बट टॉकिंग अबाउट जीडीपी डिफ्लेटर, वर्ड यूजेस डोमेस्टिक. मेक इट श्योर, अभी जब आप डोमेस्टिक और नेशनल कॉन्सेप्ट पढ़ोगे तो उसमें हम इंपोर्ट्स और एक्सपोर्ट्स एक्सक्लूड कर लेते हैं अगर हम डोमेस्टिक कॉन्सेप्ट पढ़ रहे हैं. सो जीडीपी डिफ्लेटर विल नॉट इंक्लूड एनी टाइप ऑफ प्राइस ऑफ इंपोर्टेड गुड्स, बट सीपीआई आपके प्राइस ऑफ इंपोर्टेड गुड्स को इंक्लूड करेगा. I hope you are able to understand the concept of real flow or real GDP as well as the nominal GDP. Thank you, students, for listening. Do subscribe my channel so that you can get the further videos on economics. Till that, Kapil Goplani. This is Kapil Goplani signing off.